Good evening, everyone. Today we have the winner of the category of business for the Indo-Indians Extraordinary Women's Awards 2021, is Shanti Shamdasani. I happen to know Shanti for many years, and I think she's a well-deserved awardee for this particular category. And I'd like to first of all congratulate you, Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sachin.
So, the first question I'd like to ask you was that, in my opinion, you've been doing so many different things and it's been a source of inspiration for a lot of people, not only in the Indo-Indians community, which is, of course, Indians and Indonesians who are well connected in this, in Indonesia, right? But also as a source of inspiration for people across all communities. And that is something I think is very commendable. But I wanted to ask you a few things which will help our viewers understand a little bit more about you and who you are and what you stand for and things that motivated you, etc. So tell me a little bit about what made you choose a path of business or in the area of business at the early stage when you finished college, or was it in school days itself? How did you get onto this path in the first place?
Okay, well, again, thank you for the vote of confidence and award, Sachin. I think I'd like to just start by just giving a bit of a background. Before I ventured into business, I was actually working for large multinational companies, and that's how I met you. Initially, that was in 1999 or 1997, right? It
That's
dates
right.
back to
Yeah.
that. And I was with Pfizer at that time, and that did open up the horizon for me in terms of like really give me an experience on the professional way of looking at things, and the Yale and the Harvard kind of like strategic perspective. I worked in countries like Singapore. I was in India for a while. I worked in Germany for a while. I worked in the US and Japan for a while as well. So more or less 5 countries. I enjoyed the travel. I mean, if you looked at my Facebook page dating back 5, 10 years ago, you'll only see pictures of airplanes and airports and meetings, right? So I was fortunate to actually got a good mentor in the company, and it opened my own horizon furthermore. I wasn't satisfied with what I was doing, and I think the first line of advice that I would like to give is never be satisfied in where you are. Always aim higher. If you have achieved X, Y, ABC, go for DEF. If you got DEF, go further, because um, actually it's limitless. I mean, your capacity is limitless. The only person limiting you is you, and there's nobody
True.
else. So then I got active into ASEAN level, where I was I'm still the chairwoman and board of directors of some of the important and prestigious associations. I'm the chairwoman for ASEAN India Business Council for 10 years now. I sit at the board of East Asia Business Council for over 5 years now. I'm the vice chair at CADIN for, I think, almost 14 years going now. Um, so I try to be active in associations, right? Now, the second advice I would like to share is be active in associations. Don't limit your group of friends to just one or two, and don't be comfortable, right? I mean, I always challenge myself in terms of like, okay, I'm getting comfortable now. I need to shake things up before somebody else does it for me. Let me do it on my own, right? So I was very comfortable in my corporate life. I mean, you know me, I was kind of like enjoying life with all these things. It was easy, it was salary based. I was getting comfortable. And when you are getting comfortable, that's when the trouble starts, right?
That's
So
true.
so I challenged myself and opened up the company called Strategic ASEAN International Advocacy and Consultancy. We started with projects for ASEAN Secretariat. We were doing the ASEAN Economic Community projects. Then later on, I was taken on board by governments Indonesian governments to be their advisor to the negotiation of various bilateral and multilateral agreements. I was taking an active part in RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. This is like really the,
Mhm.
when people say it's like the high level thing. Uh, I, I was the advisor to the Philippine government, Myanmar government, Laos, and also Malaysia.
Mhm.
So, so in this venture, I got to deal with the presidents and the prime ministers themselves because I was advising their offices, right? Um, Again, I think this is the whole result of really aiming higher than than what you are or where you are now. So it has led me to a point where now our consulting firm have offices in 5 countries, which is Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Laos, and India. And
Oh.
this continues, right? And then from the consulting business, I open up another business, which is telemedicine business, but only for second opinion, because a lot of patients are looking for second opinion doctors.
Mhm.
And those who cannot afford to pay the airfare ticket and the hotels now have the access through a virtual second opinion. That business is also picking up quite well. It is the future business because we have quite a few offers from companies to buy us out, but we are holding on to it. So that's the second business. Um, the third one is of course the trading business, which we have a soap factory and we deal in we export some of the soap. So um, again, I mean, how did I get into all these lines of businesses? Is I think it's through friends, through connections, to creativity. You need to continuously to innovate and to create. What is it you want to do next? Don't be complacent on what you have already achieved today. I think that's what I want. Regardless of the fact that you're a girl, I think girl have more power, and you have to agree this, otherwise you're going to have problem with your wife later on, right? so so it is that passion, it is that dream, it is that power that keeps pushing you ahead. But one important message I would like to share, and this is the critical, if people ask me what's your foundation of success,
Mhm.
where do you get your strength from? Because with the kinds of things that I'm doing, I'm active in at least 5 associations. I've got 3 businesses running. I'm always on the go. It helps me because I'm single, so I have no one to look after except for my pets and the house. Uh, but when people ask me, what's your foundation of strength? Where do you get this strength from? And
Mhm.
I keep telling all the businessmen. I was speaking in Vietnam, the World Woman Leading Change, which is at the UN. It is a UN forum, and I was invited as a speaker there. And I shared them one thing. I said, no matter how successful you become, no matter how big your dream is, if you don't build it on a foundation of compassion and charity, everything will collapse on you. So
That's important way to put it, actually.
right. My foundation of strength, and this may be very different from what people normally hear, but my foundation of strength is to help the voiceless, which is the animals. That is my foundation of compassion. That gives me strength. That gives me the motivation to keep doing better because a part of what I earn goes to them.
I see.
And I call it a silent charity. I don't advertise what I do for them. But if you don't find a passion, if you don't find your your compassion, your channel of compassion, trust me, whatever you have built will one day crumble on you. But if you build it on that compassion, um, you know, it will sustain basically. So I would like to invite all, not just business people, I think all of us to at least have a purpose in our life. I know most of us say my purpose is my kids, my family, earning money, giving them a good life, sending them to a good school. That's not your purpose. That's your duty. Your purpose is your soul calling. What does your soul tells you to do, right? And I'm getting a little bit spiritual here,
No, that's
but
absolutely right. Fine. You should. That's exactly what we want to hear.
exactly. So a lot of people do not listen to what their soul calling is. Their duty, they felt that their duty is their soul calling. As a man, as a married man with a family, it's your duty to provide your family with the best. It's not your soul calling. Your soul calling can be something else, right? So so I would urge people, in order for you to be successful in life, to be stable, you need to find what is your soul calling and follow that. I think that is what I want to mention here. I don't have any particular advertisement, promotion, or asking people come and use my consulting firm or promote my consulting firm. I think it is word by mouth. A lot of my clients comes to me because they hear of the good works we have done for them. We have a law firm as well. So our law firm is the fastest growing division in our company. So when we win cases, then we have more and more clients coming to us. So if you want to understand more what I'm doing, I would urge you to visit our website. And I don't know if you can put a running text, Sachin, on the website so that people can visit, but I can
I think people can just Google your name, Shanti, and they'll find it.
okay. Yeah, okay, that too. Okay. Yeah, you
So,
you if you Google my name, you get to see the kinds of work that has been put there, right? So
yeah.
so
So I want
yeah.
to ask you a bit about, you've been also on the board of AmCham, right? You're on the board of governors of AmCham.
Yeah, I think
You're
I was
also on
there for
the.
2 terms.
So, what has been your experience in dealing with the larger business community? The role that you have in these particular chambers of commerce.
I think I was the board of governor of AmCham for 2 terms, and now I'm still active at AmCham level. So one thing about so I have dealt with quite a few of foreign companies, but and this has nothing to do with my U.S. Harvard education, but what I can tell is the Americans have the most strategic long-term view on business, and I think that is the reason why they're one of the most successful.
Mhm.
I've dealt with, I will not mention countries here because this is a public video.
Sure.
I've dealt with other countries and they want everything quick. They want the sales to be done fast. They want the profit, the money, everything done fast. But the way the US companies work, and I've advised, few of them are my clients, they understand the value of strategic long-term outreach and maintaining relationship and and sustaining the business for a longer
Mhm.
period, so and growing it.
Yeah.
So that is what I found. Another thing at AmCham we found is that there is a respect, or there is a good balance between what the business community wants and what the government's pathway is, or where the government is heading. They do not oppose, but they try to find a middle ground on that.
Yeah. Okay. So coming to your Indian origin tag, uh,
Um,
like to understand a little bit about how has that been an influence in your life?
so I was born in Sulawesi. My grandfather came to Indonesia in 1947,
Okay.
and he came with just a few Indian rupees in his pocket. He hitchhiked a ship. I was told the story with one reel of Indian movie. Like, in the olden days, you have this round box and
Yeah.
a small projector, right?
Correct.
So he landed in Sulawesi, Makassar, and he made a few friends. and he started showing them the Indian movie. I forgot what movie it was. I mean, it's totally there. But through movies, he made more friends because it's entertainment and all that. And from that, he started making more and more money. And then he had his own textile shops. He had his own theater, like a huge, they call it, I still remember the name. It's Bioskop Mato Angin. The government had given it to our family for 30 years use, and it is 20 hectares of land just for us. So it's got a swimming pool, it's got a theater and all those things. I remember my early childhood days, he used to take me there. And of course, I mean, he used to take me out to parties because when I was born, just 2 months ago, his wife passed away. My grandmother passed away, and then my mom conceived me. So he had this belief that I'm his wife that has returned, right? So I instantly became his favorite. But today, if you look at my photo and you look at my grandmother's photo, you can't tell the difference actually.
Oh wow.
So, so I think he was probably right in that sense. So, and then from Makassar, from in Sulawesi, we moved to Jakarta, and I did my high school in Gandhi, where I met a lot of Indian friends there. But after Gandhi, I got a scholarship. I went to the U.S. and then did further studies there. I worked in Singapore and a few other countries. I came back. I did my MBA in BNUS, and then I did my law in Untar University of Tarumanagara, and then I did my PhD in UPH, University of Pelita Harapan. The latest was I did a course on digital transformation in Harvard. So if you see, you know, I love to read. I love to learn. I mean, people hate school, but I love school.
Hmm.
So I continue learning even at the age of 50, and I'm still trying opportunities, finding opportunities to learn. So as far as my Indian origin concerned, I consider myself more Indonesian than Indian in the sense that if I eat Indian food, I would have stomach upset. So, so so I think I'm more accustomed to the Asian food, like because I live quite a long time in Asia and in the US, where
Hmm.
there are not that much spices. But one thing I really like about India, and I learned how to read and write Hindi. I'm trying to find someone who can teach me Sanskrit online. So and I love the the music. I mean, most of the time I only listen to Indian songs. I love ghazals. I mean, I love poetry. And one of the best thing I love about India is the science of astrology that is there. So I study planets myself. I've got a huge telescope at home, which I look at the planets whenever the sky is clear. But I feel that India and Indonesia share a lot of similarities in terms of languages, in
Hmm.
terms of culture, in terms of history. I mean, look at Jogja, look at Bali, look at Majapahit. You will find traces of India in almost every bits of Indonesia here. So yeah, I consider myself quite lucky to be Indo-Indians here.
That's really great, Shanti. It's been a great time, time to chat with you and understand some of these things which the viewers may not have known. Do you have any words for the youth of the Indo-Indians community, who are maybe in their teens, etc.? What would you say to them?
I think what I can tell them, because I see the most of the attitude of the youths today, and I'm not saying they're wrong, but they lack one thing. They are always forward looking. They look too much in the future, whereas history taught us quite a lot of things. So I would advise them, take the lessons of the past and use that to make your future better. Because I think the one thing they're missing is they don't take the lessons of the past They are just taking what is currently here now and focusing on the future, whereas the foundation of your future is actually in your past. So you need to integrate those.
Well, that's a great piece of advice. And I think with that, we'll close the chat today. And congratulations once again for winning the award for the business category. We hope that, you'll be continuing to inspire people as you go along, because this is just a milestone. We'd be, very keen to see more of you and all your activities, and look forward to your continuous engagement with the Indo-Indians community. Thanks a lot,
Thank,
Shanti. And
thank you, Sachin. Thank you very much. Have a good day then.
all right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
So I'm going to stop recording, and